Yeah, and the same, by the same token, going back to the metaphor of meds, the mind state and how you react to life,
yes,
and how you interact with life, the stress levels, and being able to let life happen and not get bent out of shape over every little thing, that's going to affect your energy as well.
Very true. And that also takes some work.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting. I mean, people hear that all the time. I should have less stress. I shouldn't get so upset about things. Okay, great. What do I do about it? And what I always like to say to people is that having a strong, flexible, healthy mind is like having a strong, flexible, healthy body. It takes work, and you have to know how to do the work. I mean, if you don't get taught how to lift weights, and you don't get taught how to stretch, and you don't get taught, what cardiovascular exercise is, it would never just occur to you to do it all right, and you would never get your body in shape. Well, no one teaches us how to work with our minds in those ways. No one. I mean, it's just not out there in our culture. So it's a wonderful thing. People watching this say to themselves, wow, I really would like to have more energy, and maybe there is some stuff going on for me mentally. I notice that when I get yelled at or when something doesn't go well at work, I get exhausted and I can't function. We have these patterns.
Right.
You're not going to be able to overcome them without learning about what's really going on and then doing some exercises to sort of strengthen your mind.
Right.
And that's a very valuable activity as well.
Yeah, so that's that just like everything else, it falls into the category of raising awareness. And just being, I like to say being the witness, there's you involved in everything, and then there's you who's observing what you're actually doing.
But this is something that people really need to learn. People really need to learn, this is how my mind works, this is how my emotions work, and this is how I can work with my mind and my emotions. And this is why I teach classes on this. I mean, I have classes through your website, I teach live classes on this. I'm constantly developing resources because it's clear to me more and more in my work with individuals and groups that for most people this is the major barrier. As important as it is for whatever you're working on, energy levels, weight loss, you name it. Getting the nutrition right, great. Getting the exercise right, great. Getting the sleep right, great. Getting the supplements right, those are sort of the 4 tools in the arsenal that we usually look at. But teaching the individual, when my mind starts to take me in a direction that I don't want to go, how can I be aware of that, first of all, and nip it in the bud? And then also, how do I actually exert power there? That's awesome. That's when you really start to be able to take your life where you want it to go.
Okay, well, that's a whole other topic.
Whole other topic. We'll do a future one.
Let's talk supplements a little bit, because one of the supplements that's probably one of our best sellers is ubiquinol CoQ10.
Absolutely.
The coenzyme Q10. The sad state of cardiovascular health in our country, and the doctors overprescribing statin drugs, without them at many times even realizing that they're doing a disservice to their patients by eradicating, depleting their coenzyme Q levels.
Very much so.
And apparently there's 160 pharmaceutical drugs that wipe out CoQ10. It's not just statins.
And ironically, it's many of the heart drugs.
Right.
Beta blockers wipe out CoQ10. Beta blockers are, I think, the second most prescribed class of heart drugs behind statins. Statins are the most prescribed. And I mean, really diminish CoQ10 levels. 40% is a normal estimate.
So let's explain. I know that CoQ10 was first discovered in the 1950s, which is a long time ago, and it was discovered in the heart muscle.
Yes.
So can you just explain a little bit what CoQ10 is?
So CoQ10 is not just the heart muscle. It's in all muscle.
Right.
And it's disseminated throughout the body. And what CoQ10 does in a nutshell, cells have little energy factors. Just like a city needs a power plant, cells need a power plant. Cells need something to work on. And literally, there are these little organelles, is what they're called mitochondria, which are the powerhouses of cells. And what mitochondria do is they generate energy that your cells can use, just like a power plant generates the electricity that runs through the lines in your house. So when you eat food, your cells can't use that food for energy, just like your house can't use, say, wind energy to make your TV work.
Right.
There has to be some place that takes the wind energy and turns it into electricity. Well, in many ways, the mitochondria are what takes food energy and turns it into what's called ATP, which is the energy that your cells run off of. So mitochondria package and deliver the energy that drives life. And they do it constantly. Your cells exhaust all of the energy they need to live within minutes. That energy needs to be constantly recycled by these little powerhouses, and if that doesn't happen, you die, and you die very quickly. And CoQ10 is an absolutely essential, critical molecule in this process. This constant process of recycling and creating energy for our cells, all of our cells to live off, especially our muscle cells, though, because it's the muscle cells that use up the most energy in the body. They can't do it without CoQ10. So as CoQ10 levels diminish, the power plants in our cells can't make the energy that we need to thrive. And as cellular energy diminishes, the integrity of all cellular processes diminish. So everything starts working worse. The heart doesn't contract as efficiently. Immune cells don't work as efficiently. The liver doesn't detox as efficiently. So CoQ10 it's a really broadly based way to sort of leverage a body in the direction of better health. Because when you get adequate CoQ10 levels, every cell in the body makes more energy, which means they can all do their jobs better. And really that's all health is. Health is just all of your cells doing their jobs well. So I think CoQ10 is an awesome supplement for general life health and for energy levels.
Right, right. So, yeah, the worst complaint from people taking statin drugs is that they have cramps in their muscles. Mm-hmm. And this is exactly what we're talking about. The muscles are having a very hard time, those little mitochondria factors are having a hard time keeping up the pace of making that muscle work properly because that catalyst of coenzyme Q10 is missing because you took your statins that morning, right? So what about other supplements that might help people have higher energy levels? Is there anything
for energy levels? You know, another stuff that I really like supplements that are based on the chemistry that your brain and body use to wake you up and get you going. So we have these neurochemicals, and they're found in the brain and the body, and there's a class of them called catecholamines, and the catecholamines are like your get energized, wake up, get up and go chemicals. Dopamine, epinephrine, and norepinephrine are the three primary catecholamines. These are actually the chemicals that cocaine stimulates. If you do a drug like cocaine, which is a drug that really gets you, revved up and gets you, I don't know, I've tried cocaine, but it gets people revved up and gets them going. I never have. It actually stimulates an unnatural surge of dopamine and epinephrine and norepinephrine. So your body makes dopamine, epinephrine, and norepinephrine from amino acids, which are the building blocks of protein. And primarily two amino acids, L-tyrosine and DLPA. That stands for D-N-L-armed phenylalanine. L-tyrosine and DLPA. And when you get L-tyrosine and DLPA into someone's body, their system can then more efficiently create this chemistry of energy. And also, interestingly, it's the chemistry of attention. Mental focus depends on the same chemistry. So a lot of times, like kids who have ADD, I'll recommend DLPA or L-tyrosine.
Interesting.
And I know that you have some products that have that in them, I believe.
I have to check that. I don't know.
I don't know if you have them isolated.
Yeah, we can look at the multivitamins and see.
Sure.
I mean, there's about 150 different ingredients in that Life Vitality. So that sounds also it has to do with nutrition and eating properly and
and of course omega-3s also, by the way, are awesome for energy levels. Awesome. Oh. And omega-3s are just such a superstar supplement. They're number one to me. They're the absolute best supplement people can take.
Okay, well, let's recap the energy that we just went through, and what's the one big takeaway from this?
Well, the big takeaway with energy levels is you don't want to try to band-aid and fix your energy levels. You want to have more energy as an expression of improved overall life health. And we look at it like lack of energy is the problem. I would switch and look at lack of energy as the symptom. And you never want to treat symptoms. We have a culture that's obsessed with treating symptoms, and it's devastating. That's why we're one of the least healthy cultures on earth with the largest healthcare budget. Just treat the symptom, treat the symptom, treat the symptom. The same thing with obesity. Obesity is a symptom, not the problem. Right. There's something else going on underneath the surface. So with low energy levels, lots of stuff can be going on. System toxicity is a big one. So improving liver health and detoxing is absolutely huge, absolutely wonderful. Huge, huge step we can take. Lack of exercise is a big reason for low energy levels, because when you don't exercise consistently and the right way, you actually don't regulate your body's energy rhythm properly. So probably detox and exercise are two of the first things I'd recommend to people. And then there are some supplements that can help with energy levels, there's no question about that. CoQ10 is the best in my mind, because it's so good for life health. It's not just kind of a band-aid. I mean, even the DLPA and the tyrosine, they're sort of band-aids. They're healthy band-aids because they're helping you produce chemistry that you should be producing. They're not like, taking a shot of an energy drink. But CoQ10, you're really getting into what is for many people a biological deficit and correcting that deficit. And whenever we want to change something on the surface, change our weight, change the way we look, change our energy levels, the right way to do it is always to correct whatever the biological deficit or the underlying